Hi everybody, it's Michelle from Half the National Average, and I am coming to you today on May 18th. And it is, of course, habit hack number 58. All right, habit hack number 58, birds of a feather. So I've talked quite a bit in different habit hacks about the law of attraction in my Share Half Your Cheese, which, by the way, I don't think I'm getting cheese. I'm sharing cheese that I don't have, but that's okay. I believe in the law of abundance. When you believe in that there's going to be abundance and that you give abundance and you work, you can't just expect it like, manna from heaven, but you work really hard and you save and you do the right thing, that there will be abundance. And birds of a feather. Birds of a feather flock together. It's an old saying, like-minded people, the law of attraction, whatever you want to call it. It's really important that you understand that when you're creating a habit, especially as it starts to really become a habit and you start to quietly or not so quietly share your habit of what you're doing, whether you're playing guitar, you're going to find a bunch of guitar players, and then pretty soon they're going to give you tips and you're going to be excited and they're going to help you. Or if you're working out, you're going to find like-minded people who are working out. They're going to share tips. They're going to encourage you. If you're learning a language, you're going to find out people who like Rosetta Stone, who don't like Rosetta Stone, who like Duolingo, who will be willing to practice with you. Whatever it is, that coding, you're going to find people who code. So like-minded people will attract like-minded people because number one, your eyes are open to it. And number two, people just are attracted to, it's the law of similarity. We're attracted to people or things that we're similar to. Now, why it's a habit hack? Because that's just more of a fact. It's a habit hack because I want to talk about the opposite. So when you're starting a habit, when I started this project of Half the National Average, and specifically when I started, that was very quiet. Nobody knew that I had started Half the National Average in October when I was quietly putting my list of 5 habits that I was trying to practice every day, 5, 10, 15 minutes at a time. And until it was about 4 months in that I started doing videotaping, just my habit hacks and sharing that I was doing this project. And that's when the opposite. So people, and both, the reverse, people that are like-minded who kind of got what I was, picking up what I was putting down, they were extremely supportive and in a lot of ways helped me recover from what I started this project for and continue to recover with PTSD. So when you are dealing with a very compound effect of an mental health wellness injury, then it's very difficult. You're very fragile in a lot of ways. And so I kind of tiptoed my way out into this project. And it was interesting. People that were the reverse, right? They weren't like-minded. Some of them, some of them are friends, close friends. But what happens, it's the law of detraction. So they are repelled by you, or you are repelled by them whenever you're trying to do something different, because it's no longer the law of similarity. And that gets tricky because it can easily discourage somebody who's trying to start something new that they already could possibly think is a little foolish. I'm trying to think of something like my couponer. Love him, and I remember somebody kind of gave him a look when he said he wanted to work on accents. And people sometimes will give me a look when I say I want to work on something, or when I'm doing these habits, or what the hell are you doing? Or they'll just kind of sideways post something that's not really positive or encouraging. So I just wanted to share that is kind of a habit hack, because you need to be aware of that so that you can have a very clear vision of what you're trying to accomplish. At no time in your life has anybody who's been a naysayer helped you get your goals. So I was just telling somebody, we were talking about Elon Musk and how he was like, I'm moving my whole company. And I actually got to meet him once, and then was very well acquainted with his personal assistant that worked with him for like 15 years. And he would fire people. If he was in a meeting and he wanted to do something and somebody told him, yeah, and he thought it could be done and somebody told him it can't be done, he would fire you. He'd be like, you know what, you're fired because it can be done. And that kind of determination sometimes is necessary when you're trying to very tentatively go out on a branch and work on a new project. So I just wanted to give a call out today because I came home with like, thinking, what is my habit? I actually wanted to talk about the law of attraction, the law of detraction, but I came home into my mailbox and found the most wonderful, look at how beautiful this card is, first of all. I don't know if you could see it. And it was a whole card on my friend, Greg Potter, who told me what he was working on for his habits. And he's like, kind of said he was working on habits already. Like that was half the national average when I saw him and I was telling him about my project and he saw my videos. He found them, like everybody. You have to find them. I'm not like going crazy posting about this. But one of his habits that he's trying to create is letter writing. And I just think it's the most wonderful thing. I love getting letters, and I think that I don't do enough of that. So he said, I'm not going to share all of his habits because if he wanted them all public, he probably would have posted them. But, and maybe he will. But the letter writing is awesome, and I just can't tell you how much love and support I had from so many of my close friends and my friends from across the country who send me cards just to say thank you and encourage me to keep going and to and that it's not silly and it's less about you and it's more about me. And that's the thing that I want to remind people. When people think like, what are you doing? Well, don't worry about what I'm doing. You worry about what you're doing. And it's less about you and it's more about me. So the people that are gonna have a detraction to what you're doing, you are starting new habits, you're actually becoming a new person, and you are no longer invoking the law of attraction for them because, maybe they want to stay in their life exactly how it is, and they're not happy with you trying to do something new. So I don't know. Hopefully that's not a bummer one. I just want to caution everybody out there because, especially as we're coming out of this kind of, I was checking my time. We're coming out of this quarantine and people are starting to peek out of their houses, and for the most part people are extremely happy and excited, but some people aren't. And the way you spent your time in this time period is really going to determine quite a bit of how you come out of this. And are you going to be the same person, or are you going to decide to be a little bit different and a little bit better version? So law of attraction, it's real. Pay attention to it. And if you find yourself getting discouraged, then look around who is discouraging you and who is encouraging you, and spend more time with the people who are encouraging you. All right, so today's giveaway, I found my stack of books that I had put on the side to give away because I was looking through my bookcase and I'm like, all of these are like gold to me, so I couldn't give it away. But it is gold actually. Turn the ship around. I think my old boss, Gilbert, gave us these books, and on a team book. And I read it. It is such a great book, and it's a perfect example of what I'm talking about today, because he completely turned his ship around. Scores, satisfaction, and he was a nuclear submarine captain, but before he got the results, everybody thought he was crazy. And that's oftentimes what happens. If people don't see your vision, they're going to think you're crazy. And it's not your job to fix them. It's not your job to change them. And it's not your job to explain to them what you're doing. Your job is just to kindly and lovingly ask them what they mean. And if they have nothing nice to say, just continue to move on. Because life's just way, way too short, as we all found out, to be worrying or thinking or putting the weight of our shoulders about how other people are taking the things that we want to do with our own life, right? Anyway, Greg Potter, I can't tell you how much this card means to me. It came at a perfect time, and I love it so much. Have a wonderful day, and I am going to start trying to write some letters a little bit more. I got your address. I'm going to write you back. All right, you guys, Loves and kisses. I am done with habit hack number 58. Habit hack number 59 tomorrow. Ooh, I wonder what it is.